Hey, let's talk some Night Gallery. Here we go. Three very interesting episodes, to say the least. Here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino, as always, and it's Saturday night, and I'm going through every Night Gallery. So it's Night Gallery night, and we got three more stories. There's three stories in this one, so it's going to be pretty cool. Some interesting thoughts on each of these stories, that's for sure. Let me say hello to everybody. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the links, descriptions, all that good stuff. Overnight tonight, we got a surprise mix. Been a lot of those going on. Just haven't had, I enjoy the surprise mixes. But anyways, thank you, Black Roses, for the two gifted memberships. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that because it means a lot for the channel. It really does. Connie Clary, Undead Caesar. I am starting a second channel. I'm going to talk about that in a second here. Because I've had a hobby and a love for a long time, which you might see behind me. There's some Lego sets here that I'll talk about in a second. Anyways, Connie Clary, Undead Caesar, what's going on? WTF Horror and Sci-Fi, Paul Ham is here. Let's see, that's all I see there. Let me go over to the other chat. Barry St. Clair, have not seen you in a long time. Good to see you. Tune the News, Andrea Black. That kind of catches us up. Okay, here we go. So with that said, let's talk about some Night Gallery. There are three stories in this one. Well, let's not talk about Night Gallery real quick. Just a quick mention because it's in the process. I'm a big Lego fan, and it's a hobby that's just kind of overtaken me. I know I got too many hobbies. I've got the aquariums. But listen, my mind, it keeps me going, right? But the Lego hobby, I've always been into toys. I've collected since I was a little kid, and a lot of these things I still have. You see everything that I've got here, right? I've got Movie Maniacs. I got boxes and boxes of stuff, cards, comic books, stuff like that. So the Legos, I'm going to be doing a whole separate channel on Legos, building the Legos, the sets, and I'm working on a Lego city. So yes, I'm working on a Lego city. So it's going to be really pretty cool. I'm excited about that, and I have been because I'm building some cool stuff. A lot of these buildings, like you see right here, this Parisian hotel. I've got this medieval fortress here. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a fisherman's wharf over here. It's really pretty cool. That, of course, that's Seinfeld, but I've got tons of other things, and there's a whole set that's going to be streets, houses, and everything. Are you kidding me? Losing people? You got to have ground level camera to go through the city at Lego Dude. Hi. Oh yes, no. WTF? Yes, it's going to be a whole different ball game when it comes to the Lego setup and all that. So cameras. Anyways, you'll see. I'll let you guys know when it's all there. Heck, I started a Sherlock Holmes set, which is kind of pretty cool. Listen, I'm going to talk about Night Gallery in 1 minute here. So I don't know where everybody went. What's going on? 10 viewers? Right there, that's Sherlock Holmes' kitchen. It's got cabinets that open up and everything. It's so cool. I'm telling you. Anyways, what happened? Is the view count just 8 watching now? What is going on? Is the stream over? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out, guys, with you. 8 watching now. Is that just a YouTube glitch? There's no way there's 8 people watching. If there's 8 people watching right now, I give up. I give up. You know what? I'll go on with the review. I'm just curious. That's got to be a glitch. There's no way. 8, 9, 10, 11? What's going on there? Then smash it with Godzilla. For no, WTF. Once the sets are up, man, that's it. I don't. They are so precious. Believe me. I just saw today the Star Wars Cloud City set from 1993 is worth. Oh yeah, it's one of the greatest investments out there. That's for sure. 11 viewers. What is so? So the thought process is here. I'm not even going to get into it. If it's 11 people watching this, I don't think I'll be. I'm doing Sundays with Dave, but man, I hope that's a glitch. That's all I'll say. This is your closest online family. You better believe it, Black Roses. Most certainly are. Okay, so let me get into talking about Night Gallery. This isn't the channel to talk about Legos, even though the Late Horror Show, I talk about toys, everything. But some things people don't like to hear. Glenn Dunaway, what is going on? Good to see you. And yes, all my family here, definitely. Okay, 15. So you know what? That's not a glitch. If I'm getting those kind of views for live streams like this, and listen, I'm not complaining, but I don't think I'm going to do these anymore. Right before the show, my microphone too, I must have smashed the USB cable, and it broke. So I was able to find another cord that went in here. Thank goodness. 17 is what I see. Okay, so you know what? Okay, yeah. Anyways, here I go. Let's talk about Night Gallery. Season 1, Episode 5. I see 31, Paul Ham. Okay, so maybe it's a YouTube glitch. It's gotta be. Oh my God. Okay, so listen. Season 1, Episode 5. This is Pamela's voice. Phyllis Diller. Lone Survivor and the Doll. It's funny. The Lone Survivor is it's a story about the Titanic, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But it's plays out soundtrack wise, and just it feels like a Star Trek episode, except they're on a ship. They're saying Captain this and that, but the music in the background, it sounds like a Star Trek episode. It jumped to 21 for me. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but I'm continuing on. Okay, so the first one is, listen, the only way to know is after the stream's over, I look at my analytics and I see what's going on. This can't be a channel just for old time radio shows. I've done everything on this channel when it comes to movie reviews, having fun, goofing off, doing like murder mystery things, games, trivia. I've done everything. But if it comes to just being that, I don't know if I can't do that. So I don't want to move on and just dedicate everything to another channel. But 23 Black Roses. Yeah, see? And I am a complainer. I'll say that. Listen, I know. And people will message me and go, stop complaining and just do a freaking review. But I've been on YouTube for 8, maybe close to 8 years now. And I know the channel is doing great and growing fantastic for old time radio. But if this stuff doesn't do it for the channel, it might have to go over to another channel and just I'll start fresh and do that. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Lone Survivor is great. It is good. All 3 of these stories are very good. Pamela's voice, the very first episode, Pamela's voice, starring the great Phyllis Diller, the comedian, the female. And John Astin from the Addams Family, the original. John Astin plays Jonathan, and Phyllis Diller plays Pamela. And I think it starts going up once I start talking about that. You can't talk about personal stuff and anything that diverges from the stream, Dino. So very cool. I think it was too short, but they got the message across with this story. Pamela's voice. Pamela's voice is, well, let's see. they start out with Jonathan coming down from the steps, and he goes straight over to the casket where you think Phyllis Diller's character Pamela is in the casket, dead. Uh, Pamela's voice, and he immediately hears, because you think she just died, but you immediately hear her voice, and the whole storyline is about they're husband and wife. Pamela and Jonathan are husband and wife, and Pamela has been a yapper, one of those people who just never. I'm talking for the storyline. Never shuts up, just keeps going. Yeah, Phyllis Diller had a voice, and that was the one thing in this episode that got me, because I always seen her do the comedic stuff, comedies, whatnot. And I haven't seen her. I mean, I even seen her on some TV shows like Love Boat or what, but she plays herself most of the time, like a comical person. In this one, I saw a little different side of her, where she was a little bit more serious, and she was still that Phyllis Diller, but she was a little more serious. And yes, she put on the character as a nagging yapper, big mouth, constantly on her husband John Aston, about everything. You hear that in movies, TV shows, whatever. Certain couples just, there's one that just will not, just grinds the teeth of or whatever, grinds something of the other person, and she just won't shut up. And we come to find out, and it's a short story. Let's see, the painting for Pamela's voice is quite eerie. Yes, the one I liked the best, Paul Ham, out of these three stories was the doll. The painting of the doll looked really cool. I listen, me being into the paranormal, the hauntings and stuff like that, and creepiness, right? The doll's painting just was so very cool. Again, I should put the paintings up here, pictures of the paintings, but nevertheless, I didn't. Anyways, nagging wife was a recurring theme in lots of pulp horror comics. Yes, yes. That's the other thing I noticed while I was watching this one, especially Lone Survivor. I said it felt like a Star Trek episode because the music behind it and all that, but I also got the feel of a Twilight Zone episode. Of course, it's Rod Serling, he's involved. But being here in the 70s and a decade later, really, if I look at these stories and I go, if they were 10 years ago, it would definitely just be another Twilight Zone episode. It would feel that way. It would be black and white, I'm sure. Uh, these stories for sure had that feel for me. So really did. It really is great, agreed on the doll. Yeah, that one was just, really, really cool. I really enjoyed that one. But there is an interesting twist in Pamela's voice, that's for sure. So as he's at the casket, he hears her voice. She's going on and on, talking to him again, like normal, like she's there living. So nagging, in his eyes, nagging, she later says, I told you to do all the things that you were supposed to do, like make sure you're healthy, eat your breakfast right, do the right food and all that good stuff, walk the stairs and keep yourself healthy. Because, well, first of all, he hears the voice and then he sees her. She appears. And he's like, like, what's going on? Where are you? I thought you would be in heaven. Oh, no, 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 no. I thought you would be in hell. I thought that was funny. And she goes, well, I'm neither. I'm in neither. I'm, kind of in limbo here. I'm here in limbo. And we're going to find out that's exactly where they are, the limbo, or maybe hell. I don't know. But she's going on and he's just trying to figure it out. Like, okay, you're here. What's going on? I don't get it. Let's see. Lone Survivor is a lot like the Twilight Zone episode Judgment Night. Yes, exactly. Got the same feel. Brian Kirkham. Hey, Dino. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Had to go back and listen to the news. Lego's awesome. Thank you. No problem, Brian. Good to see you here. That's for sure. Each and every one of you. Yeah, no. Toys have been a hobby of mine forever. So it only makes sense that I'm putting so much time into building these. And I'm now starting to create this really cool city. Unlike a lot of the cities you see out there, I'm going to do things different. So it's going to be cool. Get back on track, Dino. Come on. Hello, Dino, and everyone in the chat. Hey, Kathy, what's going on? Good to see you. Me and Dave Plouffe talking about the Spanish Moss murders, Kolchak, tomorrow night. So please be there or be square, whatever. I don't know what the deal is. But okay, so he tells her, you're driving everyone nuts. She says she's in limbo. He wanted her. He did push her down the steps to kill her, and it's funny that she said she died instantly. And he's like, oh, no, you didn't feel any pain. He goes, I really wanted you to feel the pain. I wanted you to suffer. So I mean, it's so terrible. And he goes on to say, because she drove him nuts, and great Kolchak episode. Yeah, can't wait to watch it tomorrow. So thoughts tomorrow with me and Dave, as always. He says, you know what you've given me in life? You've given me a bleeding ulcer, bleeding eardrums because of the yap, 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 yap. Something with it. He just kept going on, putting her down. And I'm like going, what the hell were you doing with this woman if you just disliked her that much? He said, I was even willing to commit murder in order to get rid of you. You know what I mean? So he just really wanted her dead. So she was a miserable woman. But the thing is, he starts to say, what ends up happening next is a time thing. So he did come down the steps. He looks, he hears her, and he's like, listen, you just died. And she's like, no, I did not just die. I died 5 months ago. She said, it's August. I died in May. She says, I've been dead for 5 months. So a little confusing. I wasn't sure if he didn't realize that. Is he waking up every day going through the same thing like a Groundhog Day, or what's it? Because they didn't go too deep into that part of the story, which I wish they would have elaborated a little bit more on that. Like, how does he not know there's 5 months going on by here? Unless he just woke up, it's 5 months later, because he's dead too. Listen, he goes over to the casket because he goes, you're in the casket, you're over, no. And when he goes over there, you get a glimpse of him in the casket. So he's dead too. And that's when she says, listen, because he's in bad shape. He's got a bad heart, an ulcer, all kinds of things going on. It's driving him nuts in life. So you need to keep it cool. If you're not mellow, then you're going to be jello, jiggling it underneath the dirt and the ground. That's a bad reference. I don't know what I was thinking. But basically, they're both ghosts, and they're going to spend eternity together. I mean, I don't know, what kind of hell is this? I don't understand. Horror Junkie for life. What is going on? Good to see you, Horror Junkie. Miss a lot of you guys. Seeing everybody. Things change a lot. People get busy. Let's see. This is the first of several John Aston episodes throughout the series, including a few that he directed. Very cool. Look forward to going through them all again. If I make it there, I don't know. Some things people enjoy and pick up on, and others they don't. I don't know. I probably got too much stuff going on the channel. I uploaded 2 shorts today. I've got this stream, and then I've got the overnight stream. But it's what differentiates. You can always go back and listen and watch and see. So I must just have fun with what I'm doing and not worry about those things. Hope yours is going well. Let's see. Yeah, good to see you, horror junkie. But they find out that they're both ghosts, and she's going to nag him for eternity in hell. I guess that's what this is, hell, right? Um, it's hell. It's hell. And so and they basically the story just ends there. That's the end of the story. A quick, nice, throw them out story, just like the ones I do. Spend a lot of time on this last episode of Whispers in the Dark. Uh, Whispers in the Dark. It's Echoes of a Lost World, season 1, episode 7. I like to put these in 10. Once I'm done with here, I may go back to Clue Club, but I don't know. I'll see. But it's about a woman. It's a great story about the mind and a dream state and getting stuck. And then that's all I'm going to say. It's I'm putting all my heart into these things, and 533 views. So if you haven't seen it, maybe go check it out and see if you like it. If you don't like it, don't listen to another story I put up. It's his version of hell. Yeah, I mean, I guess for killing her, that's what took him to hell. I don't know. I mean, should he go to hell or should he be forgiven? I don't know. Anyways, the next one, Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor. Not any, at least not to me. Nobody recognizable as characters. There's mainly 3 characters. The rest are just like, standing there in the background. Usually there's not a lot of characters in Night Gallery. You got maybe 2 or 3. But there's like a quartermaster, there's Richards, there's the doctor, there's the captain, and there's the survivor. Okay, so the Lone Survivor is basically starts out as a Titanic story, like the sinking of the Titanic. So they're basically the captain on the ship is and you find out the ship is the Lusitania. Okay, it's the Lusitania, the ship that helped recover the people from the sinking of the Titanic and all of that stuff. And it's funny that there was survivors of the Titanic, of course. But in the episode here, they talk of literally no survivors or something. I mean, it's kind of like a no survivor type thing. Panic Penguin, what's going on? Glenn Dunaway says, with that wife, he was in hell before he died. Poor sap. Yeah, love your creativity, Dino. Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate that. I just, my heart, I don't know. I'm too emotional in life. I don't know. Every little thing gets to me if it doesn't go my way. And I'm like, stop it. You got to stop it. But yeah, anyways, got sidetracked. So, the captain's on the ship and they see that there's a raft out there. Okay. And it says the Titanic on the side of the raft. And, I like how the captain was saying the girl, the woman, because he was dressed in women's clothing. Again, it's something that they end up doing, or some ended up doing when the Titanic was sinking, because the crew had to stay behind, which this survivor ends up being a crew member who had to stay there and watch the ship sink. Like the captain going down with his ship, kids, women, they go first, and then the elderly, then the men, that's just the way it goes. And then the people that are left behind, you're going to die. And the survivor here, when he comes up on the ship, basically says that. He's like, yeah. I mean, when you're there and you see the water coming up, you're going to do whatever you can to save your life. Anyways, Paul Hamm, the survivor, was played by John Colicos. Yes. The original Baltar on the original Battlestar Galactica, as well as a Klingon commander on the original Star Trek. Yes. Was going to say that, had that in the notes. He's the only one that I noticed had some other things. Although I think the captain did too, but I didn't look too deeply into that. Sticking to the story. Hey, Bill Boyer, good to see you. CM, what's going on? Good to see each and every one of you tonight. I watch these shows right prior to streaming and starting the stream. And do I sound good? Because I did have to put a new cable. It's a blue cable into the mic because I somehow smashed the other one when I unplugged it. So maybe I stepped on it. I don't know. I wouldn't think I'd be able to crush it, but I did. But anyways, the captain is the captain of the Lusitania. They pick up this lone survivor of the Titanic. The catch is, oh, excuse me, the Titanic sunk in 1912. This is the year 1915, so it was 3 years ago. So they're all, oh, I'm belching. Sorry, guys. They're all in disbelief that nobody could survive out there for 3 years. It's just, and the captain kept saying it's some kind of trick. This is so either some kind of trick, or they're trying to, or somebody's trying to slow the ship down and or make it change course because it was during war. There was war time going on there early on. J.O.B. Dino, ever think about doing a show about current events, mysteries, like that show In Search of, real life mysteries like the disappearance of Amelia Earhart? They think they found her plane. Yep, J.O.B. That's what Paranormal Into the Night was and is kind of. It's just, once the old time radio thing hit, my mission was all of that. And without me, pause the story a second, without me going into a whole lot. I mean, there's been a lot on my mind lately about how I go about continuing the channel, because again, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that people might not be aware of, or stuff like that. What's happened is YouTube's become very, very cluttered with everybody. And listen, praise, I guess, because it's some copy to a T with what I'm doing, to a T, and people are over there. So they're moving from my channel. Not you guys, some diehards, but you're moving. If you don't like what's on my channel that day, there are other channels that you can go to. And people, I swear to God, every day I'm seeing 3 more pop up in my feed, and they're all doing the same things, down to the shorts of classic actors and actresses and the old time radio streams for long periods of time. So, again, somebody sees that you're doing something right, they start to copy, but then it goes and goes. There's another. And I'm just like, my head's ready to explode going, what the heck? And then you notice that, okay, I'd like to see something new, a new environment. And people are moving to that, place. And I've really been rethinking if I even want to continue to work my ass off every day, putting everything up on a daily basis, every single day for 4.5 years, even when I'm sick, because I know how much people use it. But when you see everything that's going on and all these people doing the exact same thing, it's not that I'm pissed. It's just like, okay, what do I do? Maybe it's time to cut back and do something else. And that's why the thought process of this whole, doing something I love again, with not that I don't love this, because I do. It's just, it's changing. AJ Starhager, I listen to yours. I know I like it here, and I don't feel real. Listen, that's not even the point. But AJ, I love you too, man. Love each and every one of you guys. Hey, Harry Scott, But yeah, and they even air at the same time. Oh, listen, Kathy, that's my point. They've copied titles, little avatars, little descriptions. There was one person who's got, you know how I got a red dot next to the subscribe here, then 3 orange or yellow stars in the description area where it tells you where to help out and donate and stuff like that. It's like copy paste the same exact. You would not believe it, and me as a creator sees all of that, and a part of that is there's nothing you could do. You know, they can copy. I mean, there's nothing I can do. So people either stay where they know one place they can get what they want, or they just venture off and let's meet new people. And everyone's allowed to do that. So, but am I mad that things are copied so much? Yes, very much so. And that's what's been going on in my mind. Listen, for a couple months, why do you think movie nights became so hard for me? It's because I try so hard and work so hard, and I've lost probably 75% of my Patreons. I just admit it. I don't care to say it out loud on a stream. I mean, I've lost them because you know there's other ones to go to and support and this and that. But you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I've always said there's always going to be something on this channel, but when do I stop? It's been 4.5 years every day. And again, people have said, you need a break, take a vacation. I tell you, if I was gone a week, 1 week, if I took a week off, and I'll get back to Night Gallery, if I took a week off, the other channels would go, oh, here's my opportunity. I'm going to do it every night. I'm there every night now, just like Dino did. And I'm not laughing into listen, I wish everybody the best. I really do. It's just the way people went about it. Okay. Be original, do something different. But everything's exactly the same. Um, if I were to take off, there would be another stream, and then you'd start talking to other people. Then people would be going over there, and then before you know it, I pop back in after a week, and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? So it's tough, but I got decisions to make, is what I'm saying, and what I want to do. In all fairness, you probably lost patrons because of the economy. Tau Flaudermouse, nah, I don't think that's it. $1.99. It's I've gone in depth on the reasons why, and you could see where support. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, that's really it. I mean, I've gone on about this over the past couple years, periodically, and I just don't know what the future holds. As of now, you're going to get me and Dave on Sundays for however long it takes. Saturdays too, I think I would do something. But as of now, everything's the same. But I don't know what the future's going, because my mind's rolling over this channel so much that I might start the Lego channel, and that may be my main channel because I put a lot of work into that too. So I don't know. Anyways, I've lost many patrons because of the kind of, they told me. Okay, well, I mean, okay, yeah. Anyways, let's move on and continue. YouTube takes a big cut from the channel memberships. Nah, they don't take that big of a cut. Listen, they've got to take something, Tau Flaudermouse. Everybody complains about that. Hell, you go to the ATM, they're going to take $3 or $4, depending on where you're at in the country, from what you get. So how do you support channels? You support them by memberships, Patreon, super chats. They're hard to come by, but some people do. Even the gifted memberships that people do, they help. You do take, okay, yeah. So, and when you say a big cut, it's not a big cut. It's a percentage, and we get a bigger cut of all of that than they do. So for full-time YouTubers who do it, and need the support, that's the number one way to help them out. So that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Anyways, I'm a YouTube member on here. Old Guy Books and Games. What's going on? I'm going on a rant. Going on a rant. It's just, there's things that need to be said, and I say it, and I'm always an open book, and I always tell you guys exactly how I feel for sure. Let's see. Lisa, this is a discussion about the episodes, not actually airing them. Oh God, yeah, that's another thing. I'm not sure why people come here and think that they can just watch the episode. I mean, you're not allowed to air the episode. This is a discussion, and if you look at the titles, they pretty much tell you, uh, especially when you see somebody, well, this one, Night Gal or Pamela's, maybe I need to put review at the end of that one there too. So did I miss somebody? Let's see. Glenn Dunaway, welcome to Level 1 Support. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Listen, I love all of you guys. The other channels don't have Thomas Gordon. Well, listen, thank you. And I'm not, listen, even though copy and paste, I still wish nothing bad to anybody or to any channel or anything. I more power to everybody. And I love old time radio to death. And I know how much it helps people who need it. Like I've said this over and over. I don't need to repeat myself, people with all kinds of issues. We're all there at night, right? But I appreciate it. So let's see. Let's get back to the episode now. People will rewatch this and see that I went on such a tirade. They won't even listen. Well, maybe they will listen to the end. Fast forward, you guys. A little too late for that. But okay, so we're on the Lusitania. This is the Lone Survivor. Thanks, guys, for putting up with me. I really do. Sunday and Wednesday shows. Wednesdays will be the Weird Wednesday show talking about paranormal mysteries, etc. Sunday will be the guest days like Dave Plouffe. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the future here. So you guys will definitely be the first to know what's going on. Tony Horror Writer, what's going on? Hey everyone. Cash bags. What's that? Tony Horror Writer. We all wish we could get cash bags, but yeah. So anyways, continuing. Lone Survivor. I also love old time radio, and you are right. It is comforting. Oh yeah. I mean, come on. So the Lone Survivor. Basically, this is a story about a man who dressed like a woman to get off of the Titanic. Okay. Get into a lifeboat. And his story was as he went on. And it's funny because when they did rescue him out of there from the Lusitania, the captain and the quartermaster and all that, they said, you know what? His raft looks like it's been out there a long time. It's got barnacles, aged barnacles up to the waterline, which means the all of that. It looks like he's telling the truth, but the captain don't believe it. But even if you do switch gears, I will still look up videos of the old episodes last summer. One of your Green Lantern shows up me. Yeah, that's the other thing. I go back to really good streams that listen, I've got every old time radio show whether that you could think of when it comes to detective mystery and more on this channel. I streamed for 4 years straight everything out there in my collection, everything. So you can find everything if you look for it on my channel, from the Falcon to the really rare episodes, and they're marked rare. If you do a rare old time radio search, you'll come up with the rare streams too. Words at War, Veil of Darkness, a really great episode. But you know how many views it gets now on a daily basis? 0. So should I re-air it? I mean, I don't know. Because people are listening to the lives overnight. But 2 years goes by and the views dwindle and YouTube doesn't push a lot of the old episodes. Sometimes they do. and people come across it. So, you know, there you go. There you go. Um, let's call this Drama Saturday with a review. Drama Saturday with a review or a discussion. I don't do reviews. I never do. I always do discussions. OTR is awesome. My grandparents would, yes, yes, yes. Anyone hear the story about the guy who survived the Titanic? Okay, so the survivor goes on to tell how he basically dressed in woman's clothing, jumped in, fell down, and he was the only one in there. And for 3 years, and basically it comes down to him being, what did he say? Let's see, his exact words were, he was a human Flying Dutchman. He was a human Flying Dutchman. Let's see, what you're going to be hit by top and going down in 18. Okay, he rushes in and he tells the captain that the Lusitania is going to be shot with a torpedo in 18 minutes. Basically, he says he's a Flying Dutchman, a human Flying Dutchman, not a ship, who is doomed in life to confront doomed ships that are going to go down. So if your ship is going to get hit by a torpedo or go down and killing all the passengers on board, he's there to somehow warn, but warn's not the word either, because you find out something a little bit different at the end of this story too. After he says that, and he tells that to, I think, the quartermass, whoever, Nick and Nora, Andrea Black. I would love to see here the Thin Man movies. Yeah, they're on. Listen, the Thin Man's on the channel too. You name it, it's on the channel. Anyone hear this? Okay, I can't believe that. J.O.W. Freezing water, survive the freezing. Yeah, something about what alcohol in large amounts does to the body combined with the cold restricted by yeah, no, some people have gone into deep hypothermia, and it was only the cold that slowed their heart down. Listen, some people it's happened to such a slow beat that you think they're dead, but then they come back to life. There are stories like that. I mean, not come back to life, but regain consciousness and all of that other good stuff. But anyways, yes, job mystery at the museum, like the old mariner. Yeah, so he tells the quartermaster that. Quartermaster, they go down like underneath the ship, and the quartermaster's talking to the captain, and he starts to tell the captain that they're phantoms. That's the only, because the captain says, why would we go down and die? Why would we as the ship go down and die? We could see him as the survivor stealing a raft, getting into women's clothing. We could see that, but we did nothing wrong. And the quartermaster, I like this because he says that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works, which is true. That's not the way it works. You can be a very innocent victim, like the Titanic was, kind of, really. Whether each soul on that Titanic went down with the ship for reasons in past lives or whatever, who knows? I don't know. But yeah, innocent victims die every day, and that's the point there. But the quartermaster goes on to say, well, they say, what if we're phantoms? And then as soon as that's said, everybody else disappears. Everybody else disappears. And the only one left there is the captain. And then the captain's moving about. I'm trying to keep up with what you guys are saying. Not much going on. You're listening to me. That's good. So then you see the survivor running around the ship because everything's the phone's down. So it's like a ghost ship. The Lusitania has become a ghost ship. Okay. It's a ghost ship too. And he basically runs to the survivor, who's doomed to be a human Flying Dutchman, warn these ships. He runs to oh my God, the port bow, whatever. He sees that there's a periscope, and a torpedo starts to head straight for the Lusitania. And Lusitania goes down. Real quick, Tony Horror writer, hey, I finally read the Rod Serling bio. It was awesome, by his daughter, who are some other great authors. Who are some other great authors? I'm guessing you're asking, who are some other great authors? I could recommend Anne Rice, if that's what you're asking. Or are you saying that his daughters are other great writers? I would love to do a big book club too. Yeah, listen, I've taken such a different change in directions from what I started the channel in. But you know what? You got to change with times. That's why, new things coming up on the horizon. Some things work, some things don't. So he screams, the Lusitania goes down with the torpedo, and we're right back to a new ship. It's a new era, a new day. I think it's 50 years later, I think. 40 years later, it's the Andrea Doria. Same story. They see the raft. They see the Titanic on the side. It's the same survivor coming to warn the Andrea Doria that it's going to go down. And I don't like it. I hate when the guy at the end of the story turns, looks at the camera so you can see the name Andrea Doria on a cap. I thought that was kind of dumb, campy, cheesy. I don't know. Anyways, I love cheese and camp, but why have him turn? I think we would have guessed. You just make him move a little bit, but whatever. I'm not the director. So he's coming to warn the Andrea Doria. Makes me wonder how many ships in between but they were trying to make a point that a lot of the big ships, and throw the big names in there, is kind of cool. So that's the Lone Survivor. Again, it sounds weird, but it felt like a Star Wars episode. I mean, it's not Star Wars, Star Trek episode. I think just because of all the names, and then the soundtrack, I think could have been overlaid right on a Star Trek episode. It was very weird. I don't know. They were they're on a ship, captain, all that stuff, doctor. But anyways, I love these shows and Twilight Zone shows. JW, what is going on? Emily, what is going on? Hopefully you're feeling okay. Yeah. As well as Laura. Hopefully everybody's, got some positive energy and, is feeling good. It's stuck in an endless cycle. That's what I was wondering, because in Lone Survivor, the one thing that got me was when the survivor came to warn everybody about the torpedo, they were already all gone. They were phantoms. So is he truly there to warn? The question goes off to Paul Ham. Is he truly there to warn the people on the ship, or are the people already dead? Because the discussion was they were phantoms. People disappeared. The captain vanished. And then the survivor hollers out torpedo. So they were all gone before. So that was a little confusing, but great story nonetheless. Leafy Nebula, what is going on? Good to see you, Leafy Nebula. Good to see you. Good to see you. So again, pretty good episodes. I really do like them. I think the Dow, the last story, the Dow, was probably my favorite of the three. The first one, Pamela's voice, was a little too short. It had Phyllis Diller. Oh God, why? What is wrong with me that I can't remember? And John Astin, okay, and Phyllis Diller. Great jobs, just a little too short. The Dow, on the other hand, the Dow reminded me of a Puppet Master kind of episode. Not in so much that the Dow moves, except for the very end, which was awesome. But it did remind me a bit of the Puppet Master series and stories. uh, just because it's about the doll. It's about the doll. And what is the doll about? It's a story that it involves the colonel who is in the British Army, who was out for a while doing military things, and he's in charge. He's a colonel. He's in charge of doing things that people don't like to hear during times of war, right? I mean, the doll is an all-time Night Gallery classic. Yes, I would agree. This one I really enjoyed. Um, I still like the Burgess Meredith episode. What was that again? Where he's the doctor and he got, it was a sci-fi episode. I just did it a couple weeks ago. I can't remember the title of it. I still like that one the best so far. That's my favorite. But the Dow, the Colonel, he comes back from a mission. Okay, he's an older Colonel too. Yeah, he's seen his days. But he's in charge. You know, like our presidents. You got to be 99 years old to become a president in the United States. So, not sure why that is. Well, we had a couple young ones. I'm not going to mention names. I don't do that, but Trilogy of Terror. Well, listen, that totally different though, CM. Totally different. This was the one thing. The doll at first, the main doll, didn't move at all. Although at times it had a smirk and smile on its face, and I'll get into that. But it deals with Colonel Miss Danton, who is like the not the maid, but the caretaker of the child while he's gone, and caretaker of the estate, because it's a sprawling estate. You know what I mean? So she's there to take care of everybody. No Trilogy of Terror vibes at all in this. Trilogy of Terror, whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. 80s. Hey, what you doing there? Wish I had, yeah, bald head. Little black bag. Thank you, Paul Ham. Yes, little black bag. That is so far is my favorite night gallery. And I've seen these in the past, not all of them, but as I'm going through them one at a time, so far, Little Black Bag, my favorite. And thank you, Paul Ham. I really appreciate all the help and refreshing my brain. And then we got the little girl, Monica. She's the child. Her parents are both deceased, and the colonel is there to take care of the little girl. And, we have a butler, bit part, doesn't matter. But it's basically Miss Danton, the colonel, Monica, the child, and the doll. And immediately the colonel looks at this doll and is like, and when you look at the doll, it's a creepy looking doll. And I'm like, and Miss Danton thought that he sent it. She thought that the colonel sent it, but that technically isn't the case. So there was somebody else, an Indian, who was from India, and during this skirmish, a skirmish in war, the colonel had his brother killed. Okay, and shooting squad, all that stuff. So he does magic, and he shows up later in the story, but he does magic. And he sent this doll there to the colonel to kill him, okay, to get revenge. But we have the daughter who's Miss Danton thought it was for the daughter. The colonel sent it for the daughter. And you look at the face and you go, are you kidding me? And even the colonel says, how dare you? How could you give this girl a doll that looks so grimy and dirty and well-worn, and it looks terrible. And the face looks so scary and grotesque. It looks like it's made, I mean, it looks worse than the Annabelle doll. I mean, it's got black lines all through it and red blood lips and it's black eyes, and the hair looks gray. I'm like going, man, that doll would have been on my shelf right there. That's where it would have been. Anyways, JLR, what's going on? Good to see you, JLR. It has those blackened eyes. Yes, Paul Ham. That is why I don't like dowels with teeth. Oh, geez. Yeah, they show the teeth. The dowel is a cursed object. Yes, it's a cursed object done with magic by the Indian who shows up, and he's credited as the Indian because his brother was killed by the colonel. And even when he's confronted by him at the end, the colonel stood up and said, he did this for his queen, for country. When you're in war, you got to do these things. It kind of throws the idea out there of World War II and stuff like that too. I think, when the writers are thinking deep, do you really need to do the things that you do in wartime? Do you really need to do the killing that you do that maybe isn't necessary during wartime? So is it the colonels? Is it the people in charge who give these orders that don't necessarily need to be done when, and I'm getting deep, when you could take them as prisoners, lock them up until war is figured out and stuff like that? Why the killing? Why can't you figure a different way to war? So that I think is kind of the conflict, the debate. What's going on there? Why is that necessary? And I kind of, if I were to discuss this for a good hour, there are many there are many things you could put on one side and the other that would tell you, yeah, I don't think it needs to be done. Anyways, I'm getting too deep here with the overall sense of the story, but basically, this girl loves the Dow. That Dow actually ruins the other Dow that he gets her because it's a nice, cute, newer Dow. And let's see, it still scars me today. You can find it on. Let's see. John Stephen Walsh, the actual Dow is undeniably airy. The colonel's toughness as he knows he's dying is really compelling. Yes, he's got something up his sleeve and he's dying. Yes, don't give nothing away, John Stephen Welsh. But yes, I'm getting to the ending really quick here. Let's see. Yes. And welcome, John. I talk Night Gallery every Saturday lately. Haven't done trivia or games in a while. I am going to do another murder mystery throughout the week, I think, coming up soon here. But as to the channel, we'll talk about that. You guys will figure that out in the future. But so all of that goes on. The colonel goes up because he hears the girl crying in her bedroom, and the doll is out at the top of the steps, and it's got a big grin. And I thought that was cool. That reminded me of a Puppet Master movie where the face changes. You know what I mean? So I wish there was more of that. I wish the Dow actually, they showed it, even if it was a shadow moving across the top of the steps or something like that. But the Dow's just sitting there. And the colonel did bring some hot poker from the fireplace. But off camera, Miss Danton and the girls in the room, and he's on the staircase with the Dow that's grinned. And you hear, you hear a loud scream that something's happened to the colonel. And it wasn't told to us, but he gets cut, and he knows that he's got a wound that isn't going to heal, and he's going to die within minutes here. But I tell myself, what did he actually get cut with? Did the doll have some kind of knife in it? But wouldn't the girl have felt that? Did the doll take the poker that he had somehow and slice his arm and give him a wound? I was a little confused with that. I don't know what he used, but the Dow got the colonel, and that is a wound that's going to kill him through magic, the curse, very quickly. And he goes down into his study area. Let me see real quick. It bites him Did he say it bites him? WTF? It actually managed to bite the Colonel. Bite. Okay. For a split second, I do believe I missed what happened then. He bit him. Okay, the Dow bit him. Makes more sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Makes it more horror too. I love the Universal Studio sets in the segment. Doesn't that house feel dusty? Yes, yes, yes. Imagine that house black and white. Yes, yes. Very, very cool. Phyllis Diller always reminds me of the Scooby-Doo cartoon. Yes. She reminds me of what was she on? Hollywood Squares too. Yes, yes. The Colonel, played by the great John Williams. Yes, Danny Malbolf, I think. Danny, what's going on? Bass player 1966. It bites him on the staircase. Thank you. 3 new names right in a row I never seen before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Yes, so it bites him. There you go. Infecting him. And he goes down there and he basically, tells her, I got a will. You guys are going to be fine. Take her to, and this was kind of cool. Take her to a new neighborhood, buy her stuff, let her meet other children her age. And I thought that was really cool because she was stuck in this estate by herself, so lonely with a doll. And that's no way for children to be raised. I'm a night gallery junkie from Northeast Ohio. Wait a second, bass player 1966. I too am from Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Well, a suburb right there of, But so we are neighbors, bass player 1966. Yes, I can name all the roads: Brook Park Road, Broadview Road, and then all the streets in between: Pearl Road, Ridge Road, Pearl Road. Yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Northeast Ohio. I don't know where at you are, but there you go. Don't they change the expression on a Dow's face when they show after it? But yes, yes, yes. It's a big grin. It's very, very cool. But the best is for the last. He tells her too that I've got something I need mailed right away to this Indian who cursed him. So the very ending, after the Colonel dies, the Indian is in his hotel and somebody brings him. You could tell it's a big doll. And he's just like looking like he's scared. He's like, whoa, what? Whoa, whoa. Akron. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm Cleveland. So we're, 45, 30 minutes away, whatever. But good to see you on the channel. Same as Danny and John, everybody else. I'm sold. I saw Night Gallery when it was rerun late nights to this day. I have to watch The Dow around midnight. The Dow really is a good average episode. The second season is the most consistent. There you go, John. Yes, yes, yes. So the Indian opens up and this is the Puppet Master vibe 100%. He opens it up, and it's a big doll of the Colonel. It's the Colonel. And the doll slowly opens its eyes and slowly makes a smile, thus ending the episode, the story. And I just thought that was so freaking cool. It was such a good Puppet Master vibe. I'm like going, yeah, about 10 years later, you're going to get Puppet Master. Whether any of these had influence, I don't know. But there was some movements in the doll itself that really made it feel like a Puppet Master in split seconds and parts, like that very ending there, especially. And I really loved the episode. I really did. All 3 great episodes. I think Lone Survivor probably the weakest of the 3, in my opinion. They were making a point. I do think the survivor, John Kalikos, really did a good job portraying his character, the survivor. Definitely. One of the airiest stories, the Dow, Paul Ham. Out of all of them, terrific conversation. Glad I discovered your show. Hope to see you again. Spread the word about the fine show. Thank you very much, John Stephen Walsh. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you guys leave today. About ready to end it though, but that's the episode. I think pretty good one. Pretty good one. Next week we have let's see, which one is next week? Let me get to it. It is season 1, episode 6. They're tearing down Tim Riley's bar and The Last Laurel. So we got 2 episode or stories in that episode. But tomorrow night we also got the Spanish Moss Murders. Me and Dave Plouffe will be talking about another Kolchak episode. Hopefully, we will see you there tomorrow night. Every Saturday and Sunday, we're talking about an episode of some kind of old TV series. I even want to maybe do every other week Night Gallery and maybe throw in some Outer Limits. I'd like to do that too. Like me and Dave, where we do Kolchak, Columbo. We're going to start throwing in Wild Wild West. So we have a good rotation going there. I almost wonder if maybe not talk a Night Gallery every week, or should I just continue going with Night Gallery? Just keep flowing with it until I'm done. Final episode of season 1. Yes. Take care, CM. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, overnight, a good mix of, again, there's the detective shows mixed in there, and I'll check out the title. So anyways, Outer Limits is great too. Yeah, listen, there's so many shows. There's another show called that gets good ratings, and I haven't seen it before. It's from the 60s. It's called Out of the Unknown. Out of the Unknown. It's a sci-fi, I think, British series, but it's called Out of the Unknown. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but Tim Riley's bar is my favorite episode, says CM. Okay, really? Okay. The original Outer Limb. Oh, yeah. Listen, the original everything, Leafy. I don't go for remakes of many things. I'm not saying that there aren't great remakes, but thank you, Glenn Dunaway. Please stand by, says Harry Scott. Please stand by. Enjoyed it. Cheers. Okay. Yeah. With that said, you guys, I keep these about an hour long, unless it goes longer. But we've got through the all the stories. I even threw out other stuff to talk about. I'm always an open book, like I say. Tell it how it is. And that's about it. So I will see you guys tomorrow night with Dave Plouffe. Be sure to check that out if you're a Kolchak fan, which I would hope so. Anyways, peace and love as always. Catch you guys on the flip side. I didn't end the stream.